Up to now, we have configured our feeds with only specific data items, like in this example here, where I have a list feed with 2 specific elements. But there are other ways to configure your feeds, and in this session, I will show you how you can do this. So we'll add a new feed next to it. And instead of linking 2 specific elements here, I will grab the whole element group and link it to this feed. The result is that I have all my elements here in this feed, in this list. If I add new elements or delete elements in my DMS, the list will be updated. What we also see here is that next to the green items that show us the data, so all the elements, we also have the yellow icon here that mentions filter. If we click it, you can see here in the data panel what type of filter it accepts. And we see for an element list, clearly we have the ability to filter on protocols or on views. So let's start with protocols and search for one of our protocols. If we apply this now as filter, we see that the list of elements is further filtered with only the elements that apply to that specific protocol. Another type of filter was the view. So very similar, of course. If we click a view, we see again that we can link this as a filter, and we can replace the filter by the view filter. So replace the protocol filter that we previously applied by a view filter, or we can add it as an extra filter on top of it. Let's replace it for now and see how it goes. So we end up with the 3 elements from that specific view. Let's have a look at another example. I'll bring in another list feed. And now I will link it to all my parameters and see how I can filter that. So I can filter it on elements. So then I'll end up with all the parameters from a specific element. But I can also link it to protocol. Let's try to do that. And then I have all my parameters from a specific protocol. With this, we can of course make some nice combinations. Let's try to create something where we make selection of an element, make selection of a parameter from that element, and then try to show the state and value of a parameter. So we'll use the state component to visualize the end result. We'll use a drop-down feed for an element selection, for example, and then the list to make a selection of the parameters from our element. So in the top drop-down, we will list our elements. Okay, in our list, we will make selection of parameters, so we'll drag in all our parameters here. But of course, we want the parameters from our element selection. So in the feed section, we'll look for our dropdown. We see that it exposes elements, and we will link that as a filter to our parameters list. So now the first linking is already in place. If we make a selection here from an element, we see that the correct parameters are listed below. Then the link to the state component needs to be done, and therefore we try to search our lists here, click the parameters, link it to the state components, and if we make selection here of a certain parameter, we see that the value is loaded in here. We can further extend that. Here on top we had all our elements, but maybe we only want the elements from a specific protocol. Let's try to limit it to elements of the NetInsight Nimbra protocol and apply that. So in here we have a limited set of elements, of course. And yeah, it's really a matter of exploring what combinations are possible. You can try it out yourself, link some data, make some linking to groups of data, and see on what you can filter in your specific DataMiner version.